Caitlin and I met in Missouri, where we both grew up in the same hometown. And actually on the very first date, I told her, I'm like, I want to move to a Spanish-speaking country and preach. What is it? What is that?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico? And I said, listen, if you're not down with that, you know, that's gonna be it.
It's basically kind of like starting over, figuring everything out again. I come from a family where everybody lives close together, just basically spends your whole life there. And so it was just definitely
A culture
kind
change.
of a good stepping stone, yeah, to live in other places. And then come here where it was even like a bigger shock, just figuring out like what food I can find here, finding the doctors we want to use, and figuring out what is here.
We decided on Puerto Rico because there was a great need for preachers here and ministers.
Hicieron residenciales de projects we've done some.
I've known Eric for a long time and elated that they were able to come, and we're thankful for their dedication to this work. And we've definitely bonded and worked together at overcoming trials. 2017 was rather difficult for us.
The latest track brings the hurricane eventually across Puerto Rico. This is one of the strongest hurricanes so far this season.
Everything is going down. We've lost all communication, we've lost power. We're hunkered down and waiting for this to pass. Category 4 when it came here, the eye of the hurricane actually passed over San Sebastian, and it just devastated everything. We didn't have anybody else from the States here with us. The brethren in San Juan were a long way away. All communication was shut down. We didn't hear from our family stateside, or they couldn't even contact them for a week and a half or so. Gas stations, there were lines that were over 2 kilometers or so to get to a single gas pump. People were camping out like multiple nights at gas stations just to get gas to run their generators to have any electricity. It was super scary. And we both asked ourselves, what are we doing here? We had to do some real soul searching, and we had to really understand why we were here and be convinced about why we were here. We have to remember the mission. If we're here for a good purpose, we can't be deterred from that purpose. We have to remain resolute. We have to persevere. And I think it's really important to think about externals, because too many people, and myself included for years, we look at success and define success based upon these external things. And so it's very easy to get discouraged. It's very easy to be like, well, we're insignificant. We have 10, 15 members. We're insignificant because we're the only ones out here. Well, let's go back where there's a lot. But there's no growth if you're always sitting in the box. And especially when we think about externals, we as Christians should be redefining what success is and what externals are. And if you're faced with a hurricane or earthquakes or church problems or sickness or whatever the case may be, don't give up. Don't do what the rest of the world does. We've got to push beyond being molded by the world, being molded by the mediocrity of our society, and to accept what's comfortable and really be convicted about our mission and purpose and stay faithful to that. One of the benefits of leaving our patria, as they say in Spanish, our homeland, is that you're forced into a situation depending on God, and you recognize that really wasn't my home. And we're just in tents. And we're hoping these tents will be transformed into wonderful abodes someday. But we're not there yet, and we gotta keep pressing on, and we gotta keep working. When you give up a lot of the things that are comfortable here, it hits your spirit deep, and it calls you to the place that is beyond what this world can provide.
I'm Craig.
And I'm Stu, and we're the founders of Appian Media.
We really hope that you've enjoyed the content that you've just seen. This was only made available through the generous donations of so many of you.
We believe that the world should have biblically accurate, visually engaging content about the Bible, and it should be free for everyone.
We would encourage you to visit the membership page of appianmedia.org and consider becoming a reoccurring member. Everything that you donate to Appian Media is tax deductible.
However you decide to donate, we really appreciate your support.